Maxwell. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm really excited to be with you. The title of the video is why is it so difficult to be disciplined? And that's a question that many people often run into. And a lot of times it's the type of thing that people look at themselves and they think it's something that's concerning them. But our discipline a lot of times is not really concerning us as much as it's concerning our mindset and our thoughts. And the one thing with discipline that I'll say is that your discipline is going to be directly connected to your subconscious mind and your subconscious programming. Have you gone in connection with that discipline that you're trying to create, and have you renewed your mind to a point that that no longer are you having to struggle to go do whatever it is that you're trying to do, but are you able to do that thing from a free place, from a place of because when we can go back in and reprogram our subconscious, then what happens is those things which are difficult for us to do, it'll become it will become more effortless. And it'll become more effortless because we're no longer fighting. It will no longer be a battle of us fighting against our conscious mind versus our subconscious. It'll be just basically our mind will be as one. We will have a singular mindset. And because of the singular mindset, it'll be easier to get certain things accomplished. And I appreciate y'all, everybody that's going to watch this video. I thank you for the likes, the subscribes, the shares, the taps, the bell notification, everything, all the things. Appreciate all the things. But the first thing is that most individuals think that they can just do it through willpower. Willpower is something that will work for a little bit for a short period of time. The thing with willpower is based upon our conscious thought process. It's based upon us consciously putting forth some type of effort to get this thing done. The thing with our subconscious is that once you take the time to train it and to reprogram it, which is very, very simple to do, and something that I'm teaching in a course, it's something that I'm teaching in a 3-day event. And part of that 3-day event, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be actually taking people by the hand. I'm going to be showing them some of the different principles and things that they need to do to first of all learn the importance of the subconscious, then also learn how to train it, but then also learn how to reprogram it. And the reprogramming part is very, very simple. It came to me one morning as I woke up. I was out of sleep. I was kind of laying in the bed, and this thought came to me because I just started studying. Thank you for the likes. I started studying. I started studying on the subconscious again because I'd studied this topic like 20 years ago. And in the process of restudying it, what came up was I started seeing that there were certain things that just made sense. Thank you for the like. Appreciate you. Thank y'all. How you doing, Hardick? Appreciate you. Yeah, so I've started noticing that there were certain things that kept popping up. And thank y'all for everybody that's tuning in and for the likes and for the shares. Appreciate everybody for being here. And part of what the issue is, and this is with all of us in our lives. Part of what the issue is, and this is with all of us in our lives, is that when we're trying to start something, whether it's a discipline, we're trying to start a better eating habit, we're trying to go to the gym, we're trying to meditate, we're trying to go to school, any of those things that we're trying to do, the problem is our conscious mind from a conscious level, we're trying to accomplish those things. But the problem is if we have a different voice in us from our subconscious in the background, then what happens, then generally we start fighting against the thing that we want to do. So there's one part of our mind that says, oh, you're going to go to school, you're going to have success, you're going to be this, you're going to do that. But then there's another part in our subconscious where it said, oh, no, you're not. You're not going to go to school. You're not going to have success. You're not going to be able to do it. And see, a lot of that subconscious training and that subconscious mindset comes from where you were raised. It comes from your surroundings, your environment, the people that were in your life, the people that reared you, the people that raised you. Thank y'all for the taps and the likes and the shares. Appreciate that. Thank y'all for the follows. Appreciate anybody that's in here. I can't really see everybody in here, but I appreciate y'all being in here. So the first thing is if you're trying to do something just based upon willpower, it's going to be hard because you're doing it from a conscious level. But we're not only are we physical beings, like you can see me. You can see me. We're not only we physical beings, but there's a part of us that also is spiritual. And so you have to create this thing in the unseen. And part of that is this is part of what I'm trying to share with you. When you can go back in and you can start reprogramming your subconscious, then the discipline that you're trying to do won't be so hard to do. It won't be so hard to accomplish it. It won't be so hard to stay on that diet because what you're doing, what I'm creating and what I'm teaching individuals to do is to go in and speak to your subconscious the same way it speaks to you. If you're a person on here and you're watching this video, your subconscious speaks to you in dreams. So it speaks to you in story form. And in process of speaking to you in story form, it speaks to you with symbols and signs and things along those lines. And most of the teaching that has been done on the subconscious up to this point by all of the books, I mean, you can read all the books. Most of the teaching is based upon affirmations. It's based upon mirror technique. It's based upon before you go off to sleep that you kind of replay back the day and you start visualizing different events and things. That stuff is fine, but the process is so hard, and because it's so difficult, because you're trying to do it from a conscious level. You're trying to do it and be conscious of what you're doing. The easiest way, and this came to me, and it's a very, very simple principle, easiest way for me to retrain my subconscious, because your subconscious represents that underlying, it's the underlying story. It's almost like background music that's playing. It's like background music that's playing while you're doing whatever you're doing. So that subconscious program, or that subconscious message that you're constantly repeating over and over again, which is hindering you from getting to that next place, that's the part that has to be dealt with. You know, it's not just putting something in my mind from a conscious level that you're and conscious just represents that you're aware of something. Like you're consciously aware if you're in here, like I see 13 people in here. You're consciously aware that I'm sitting in front of you. I have a mic in my hand. I have on a red baseball cap for the Phillies. You're consciously aware of that. But subconsciously, that other part of your mind is doing some other things. And so that's the part of us that you got to go back and you got to look at. You got to look at, why are you struggling so much with trying to who's the author of my story? I'm the author of my story. Matter of fact, I have a book, Chris. Appreciate you asking. I have a book out, and it's called How the Pain of Heartbreak Propelled Me to Healing. And this is what kind of got me on this journey of healing and transformation and understanding personal development. Because when you go through life-changing events where you lose a lot of things, whether it's people, places, business, I mean, just various different things, what it does is it changes you. It changes your mindset. And so I had to reinvent myself, you know, and I was late 50s, reinventing myself, trying to get myself reestablished after going through all of those losses. So I'm the author of my story. And so back to my point. My point is that when you look at our subconscious, or your subconscious is controlling more of your life than you even realize. It's part of where all of your habits are. It's part of where your self-image is. It's part of what enables you to be disciplined. It's part of what tells you the things based upon your past that have already happened. And this is why I'm saying you have to change the story of what has happened to you in the past. This isn't discrediting those things. This isn't discarding those things, but this is coming from another place. True, Chris, true. And so with that being said, you know, you have to reinvent yourself based upon knowing what is the next direction and what is the next thing that you need to do. So this first thing is, willpower will not be enough for you to fulfill the disciplines that you're trying to do. Your willpower won't be enough. That's why people start things and they stop, because they're trying to do it based upon their willpower. But your willpower, there's weaknesses in it because it's based upon a conscious level. And then the second thing is, a lot of times people look at, well, how strong they are. And based upon their strength, they feel like they can do certain things and they can accomplish certain things. And there are things that we can accomplish, but there's so much easier when you're doing it from a place of allowing your mind to work with you instead of work against you. You know, and that's part of one of the biggest issues, is that the things that you're trying to accomplish, your mind, for many of us, is working against you. Your mind is working against you, and it's not working for you. You know, so in order to get to that next part, you have to come from a place of understanding the way that your subconscious works in contrast to your conscious mindset. This is why there's so much, you know, like people use the example of, you know, God on one side and the angel on another. That's basically, to me, the symbolism of your conscious mind versus your subconscious. One part of your mind is reality and those things that are going on right now and so on and so forth. Another part of your mind is those things that are playing on behind the scenes. It's all of those habits. It's the things that you were raised in your family. It's that long-term thought process. It's the subconscious does more. It controls 90% of your life. So if we're not going back in and we're not examining what are the stories that we're telling ourselves, what are the stories that we're telling ourselves concerning our lives, if we're not re-examining that stuff, then we're going to fall short. You know, and I appreciate y'all watching the video and joining the live. You know, if you're interested in finding out more about the subconscious and how you can use it to your advantage, and you can start taking back control of your life, DM me down in the comments. And then what I'll do is because I have a private community that I've started, but I also have a 3-day event that I'm putting together where I'm going to actually go in and I'm going to teach people how they can actually start shifting and changing their subconscious mind. Because when you can get on the right side of your subconscious, then your life will be on automatic pilot. You'll stop getting all of the resistance with your weight. You'll stop getting all the resistance with your money. You'll stop all of the meeting the same people that you're dating. Your life will start transforming because you're putting a new story in your mind. That story that we're playing in our mind is the reason why we have all of the roadblocks and why we have success and then we fall back. We have some success, but then we fall back. So in order to get past the process of just the success and the fall, and I'm telling you this from personal experience. I was married for numerous years, 3 decades. I've had businesses that I've run, and I would get to just certain points, and I couldn't push past a certain level. And a lot of it was because of training and stuff that I was raised in. I was raised in a very, very religious background, and part of my thought process concerning like even business was a limited thought process. So I could only get to certain places. And then once I got there, I would fall right back down to some place that was probably more comfortable. And so with that knowledge, it started making me look at what are different ways that I could start, changing to start getting the results that I wanted. And one way that you're going to be able to get at is to learning how to reprogram your subconscious. So if you're interested in being part of the conference that we're doing, it's a 3-day event. I'm only looking for the right people that are ready to move now. They're ready to change their lives. They're ready to, and I'm a certified coach too, John Maxwell. So I'm not just the guy on with a mic that's on here talking. I've gone through the training. I've done certain things. So if you're interested in learning more about that and how you can start taking back control of your life and how your life can change and how you can start getting some of the benefits and start experiencing the full benefits of life, reach out to me. And what I'll do is I'll end up sending you a link. And so I appreciate everybody that tuned in today. I want to start trying to get on this live. Like I do lives on other channels, but this YouTube, this is something that I want to start actually putting a little bit of time into YouTube, because I feel like the people on YouTube it's a different audience that I want to see how I can connect to. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Again, my name is Arnold Alston. I'm a certified relationship trauma coach out of Jersey. Appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Hit the bell notification. And until I see you guys again, have a great day. Talk to you soon.